Hey, it's Saturday, September 6th, 2025. I'm going down to Garibaldi to fish for non-select Coho and Chinook. This is kind of a cool fishery we've had a few years now. It is basically, you can harvest anything in the ocean. But this year it is one Chinook and you can do two Coho, but they can be all wild. So they can be hatchery, they can be wild, whatever you want. But on the flip side, Garibaldi did have a big die-off a handful of years ago. I don't recall how many years ago it was now, but we had a really hot late summer and a bunch of fish basically died. They lost a ton of Chinook in the Wilson and Trask in those rivers when they were staged up with low water. It got too hot. So Garibaldi has not been the greatest fishing in the fall. Lately, last couple years, it started to pick up. I saw some improvement last year, but I mean, if you're heading down to this fishery, don't expect stellar results like we saw at Buoy 10, but you never know. Every year is different, and I'm gonna keep probing it because it's one of the closest ports to where I live, and it is the closest port to where I live, and we'll just see how it goes. Be aware, fishing in the bay at Garibaldi is extremely weedy, extremely grassy, so it's fun, but it can be very challenging, especially on big outgoing tides. So anyway, stay tuned if you like this stuff. Let's see if I get into it. I'm actually running this trip today as a solo trip because I wanted to, and sometimes we need that, but you know. Anyway, stay tuned, see if we get into some fish, and hope you enjoy. So I left out of Garibaldi in the morning, and it was pretty busy at the ramp. There was a ton of people heading out for tuna today. It was going to be a super flat ocean, and in retrospect, I probably should have tried to do the same. Now they're working on the South Jetty, which is kind of dangerous at Garibaldi. It's cool to see that they're repairing it and reinforcing it, but you know, I trolled around kind of near the mouth of the bay and looked for Chinook, and there really just wasn't any action going on. I think I saw like one fish caught. So I spent the first morning around here just kind of trolling bottom. A lot of weeds out there though. So after that I headed out to much deeper water. As you can see, the weather is fantastic. The ocean is basically like a lake. And that fish just hooked up on an E-plug with a pink hoochie. I had it down about 50 foot of depth on the line counter, and I was just reeling it up to check, and the fish grabbed it. Now I was seeing not a lot of action out there. There was not too many boats. Everyone's very spread out, which is not a good sign when you're fishing out in the ocean like this. If everyone's spread out, it's typically because no one's really catching fish. And today was just a weird day. There just was not a lot of action happening. Not what we were expecting to see this time of year. But you know, that is how it goes. I think that there's a lightning storm that happened in the morning, and I think that might have pushed a lot of fish out deeper. So I hooked this nice little hatchery Coho, and I ended up letting it go because I kind of in my head was like, oh, I'll catch another fish, you know, we'll catch more fish, no big deal, and I can get a bigger one than this. And unfortunately, it was not an easy day after that. So I may have jinxed myself or cursed myself on that one, but oh well. Now, when you're by yourself several miles out in the ocean, it's, you know, for safety reasons, try to get that fish back in the water as quick as I can, but I'm not going to be hanging off the side of the boat when I'm by myself out in the ocean like this. It's just, you got to be careful. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Well, I saw this whale kind of far out, and I kind of went over towards this area, but I didn't realize he had circled back around, and it kind of startled me when he came up. It doesn't really do it justice in the video, but he was pretty big, and I haven't really had that one come up that close before, so... As you can see, it is just an absolutely beautiful day out here. It is just flat as a lake. It is great. Wow. All right, so I did a solo trip, and it was pretty slow. There was lightning and thunder in the morning heading down there. I almost called it off. But the ocean was absolutely beautiful, and I kind of got fixated on going for salmon, and I did bring bottom fish gear, so I was kind of planning to go out for bottom fish, but I never ended up doing it. I kind of kept searching for salmon, and it didn't happen. I mean, it did. I let a coho go, and then I caught a short Chinook, and I think I had another bite, but I didn't really get good footage. But it just was a really tough day. The fish checker said there wasn't a lot caught. They had moved out to really deep water, like 350. And, you know, I saw a Chinook caught near in the bubble in the morning, but I didn't see much. And so overall, it was a good day. It was nice to be out. And it was beautifully flat. In retrospect, should have gone down to some local areas, reefs, and gotten some bottom fish. But, you know, hey, what... It's kind of what you do. I love chasing salmon, so that's what I ended up doing. And sometimes you don't get them all. That whale came up, and that was pretty close. And I was like, "Holy crap!" I haven't seen one that close before to my boat. And I always see videos online of them knocking boats over, so it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And that was my honest reaction to it. So I did a little short on it, got some kind of crap for being all, oh crap. But that's the reaction I had when you're by yourself 6 or 7 miles out. So anyway, I appreciate watching. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. I'll not put out too many boring videos like this, but hopefully learn a little bit. And there's a lot of searching in the ocean. It can be hard to find them, but thank you.